And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Tree houses are amazing. I didn't run across many of these. I grew up in the city, not many tree houses there. And when I visited people out in the country, only a few of them had tree houses. But it was an amazing thing to have this house built in the tree. Now, most of the ones I saw were pretty cool things to climb into, but they didn't look anything like the ones in the movies. And they certainly didn't look anything like this one, the best tree house ever. See, because this tree house can have a pirate ship, a laser arena, a butterfly garden, a mini golf green, an observatory, a rope bridge, and a petting zoo. That really is the best tree house ever. Okay, but this is a card game, so we want to see how the card game itself plays. And I guess we should do that right now. At the beginning of the game, each player gets a tree, and in the middle here, this is called a balance token of their color. And there's going to be 3 rounds in the game, and in each round, players are going to draw a handful of 6 cards. They're going to look through these cards. Now, these cards have all sorts of fun things to put in the treehouse. So, for example, here we have a lemonade stand. Here we have a craft room, a chocolate fountain, which is amazing. A painting studio, a pie factory, a hot tub. There are other things like a movie theater, a hot dog stand, an aviary, an aquarium, monkey bars, a library, a tire swing. Let's see here, a communications tower, a bowling alley, photography studio, a board game room. Yes! Okay, so each one of these has different names, but really the only thing that matters is the color of them. The names are just for thematic purposes. So when I'll take one of those cards, and then everyone simultaneously will place that card in their tree. I'll place it either here or here. Now, whichever side I place it on, the tree is going to sway that way, so I have to move my balance token over 1. That means the next card I add has to go on the other side of the tree. I'll take the 5 cards I didn't pick, hand them to the person on my left, and then take 5 cards from another person and pick one of those. And so then I put here the wood shop, which makes the tree sway over here to the middle. The next time I add a card, I could add this computer lab here, and this won't move at all. Or I could add it here, which would make this move here. But I cannot add it here. Why can't I add it here? Because all cards of the same color must be touching. The first card of a color you can put anywhere, but after that, cards of a color must touch that color. So let's say I put it there, and it sways here. Now the next card, the spiral staircase, technically can go here, here, or here. It always has to touch 2 tree branches unless it's on the outside. However, I can't place it here because the balance token is on this side of the tree, and you can never, well, that means you can't place anything on that side of the tree because it will fall. So in this case, I'm going to place it here, which makes the balance token go back in the middle. And then maybe the next card I get is a yellow one, so this one I might place way up here, which makes the balance token go over to the side. Now players are going to be playing 5 out of the 6 cards. When they are done with that, then players are going to, in turn order, and in the first round, it's going to be in turn order. After that, it's going to be whoever has the most points. They're going to take either one of these cards, a 2-point card, or it does not score. Then in reverse order from taking these cards, you will play these cards on different colors. Players will then score, but the colors that have these on them do not score at all. The ones that don't have any card in them at all will score 1 point per each card. The ones that have 2 on them will score 2 points. So this one is kind of bad for me because someone put a no scoring on yellow, and I have 3 yellows. I have 1 green, which is a point, and purple was changed to 2 points, so 2 points. So there's 3 cards put together for a scoring track, and I would get 3 points. And people are going to score points here, and then we will start another round. Now, at the end of the final round, everything will be the same, except players will also score a bonus for having the most of any color. So let's say I had the most yellow. I have 3 yellow in my treehouse, then I would get 3 bonus points at the end of the game. You can also play a sort of enhanced version of the game where you can play with these bonus cards. Everyone gets one of these at the beginning, and then you have to have these exact configurations, brown, green, purple, blue, yellow, red, and you'll get that many points, 3 and 4, if you pull that off. First of all, my kids really loved this game. Now, to be honest, the reason they liked it was because of everything you can have in your treehouse. Ooh, you can have a splash pad, or a model railroad, a ball pit, an arcade, a candy store. And anytime they put something in, I was like, oh, look what we're putting in our thing. So they liked it for that reason. What I really want to know, is the game any good? The game is really a simple one. You are drafting. I always like drafting games. It's a good mechanism. And taking a card of a color, and the theme doesn't matter, and then placing that on the side of the tree. Now you're limited to where you can place it. You can only place colors next to each other, the first one you start. After that, you're also limited, by the balance thing. You can't play too many cards on one side of the tree. I think the balance mechanism is a good way to temper out, maybe just building these weird trees that go in one direction, and also it's a thematic thing. The cards are going in one direction. However, the theme comes through in the rooms themselves, which is a lot of fun. The artwork for this game is really well done. And while you're drafting and covering cards up, there's also things to think about there. Will you cover up a color? Once you surround, let's say, red, for example, you can no longer build red cards. And when you get a hand of red cards, what do? Now, the game does have an option of you discarding a card instead of adding one to your tree. But why would you want to do that? You want to have an even spread of colors, perhaps. That way, if someone cancels red, for example, you still get points from other ones, but at the same time, you won't win any of the majorities at the end of the game, which really do matter. I really think the majorities will win or lose you the game. These special cards with these configurations, they're okay. I don't think they're needed for the game. I could play with them or without them. I mean, it gives you kind of maybe something to go for, but I'm usually more concerned about, hey, I'm trying to win with brown. I'm going to get the most browns or whatever. And at the same time, I see where the kids are coming from. I can get into it. I can be like, yeah, I have a sushi kiosk in my tree. It really is the greatest treehouse ever. And so I like the implementation of the theme, but the game itself is also fun. It's a quick game. You simply draft cards, place them there. You get to when you're done, you look at that treehouse and be like, yeah, it's a pretty cool treehouse, which is a fun thing. But there's also what cards, you're drafting, you're doing drafting things you want. You're hate drafting, maybe taking a card that you think will help the next person. And then when you take those cards and make something score no points or 2 points at the end of the game, that also, at the end of each round, that also can swing things. So it's a good tactical, interactive game with a wonderful, wonderful theme. I like it. And that is the best treehouse ever. Truly a good name. Dice Tower Judgment approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.